Chuck Schumer, at the behest of a bunch of liberal, far-left activist groups, has walked his Democrat colleagues into a boxed canyon.
Today marks day one of the Schumer shutdown.
Chuck Schumer is scared of his radical left-wing base. That's why we're in the Schumer shutdown.
The ball is literally in Chuck Schumer's court.
Congressional Republicans making it crystal clear where they think the shutdown blame lies. And Minority Leader Chuck Schumer for Dems on a media blitz today, trying to make political hay.
We're going to be out there fighting, John. So Democrats are going to be all over the TV wires, all over the districts, protesting, all over the social media.
TV wires. Okay. A new opinion piece says one can certainly appreciate Schumer being tempted by a shutdown. It allows him to show a little fight. And it was perceived weakness on his part back in March when Schumer joined Republicans to fund the government. Many Democrats went on the attack.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal. And this is not just about progressive Democrats. This is across the board, the entire party.
I believe that Senator Schumer probably did what he thought was best, but I don't think that it met the moment.
The idea that Chuck Schumer is the only one that's got a brain in the room and the only one that can think through all of the pros and cons is absolutely ridiculous.
I think the Senate leader made an enormous miscalculation.
I myself don't give away anything for nothing. And I think that's what happened the other day.
I was worried that she was going to have a word. We'd have to bleep there. Anyway, a headlines calls Schumer's switch up a bad shutdown bet, a big leadership test, and a big gamble. Another says Democrats are embracing it despite political perils. And focus now, Tiffany Smiley, former Senate candidate and Endeavor PAC founder, and Yemisi Egbewale, former Biden press office chief of staff. Look, I call him stuck Schumer. I mean, he is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. Is he bending to the far left in your party? What's happening?
I think in March, had he capitulated to a shutdown, he would have been bending. I thought the examples of the members who were upset with him were very interesting because they do represent that progressive far left base. But I think Nancy Pelosi hit it on the head when she talked about it in March. She said you gave away a lot for nothing. And so what he showed in March was a lack of strategy. And what we've seen from Jeffries and Schumer is a lot of criticism since then. And so now he really has to operate from a place of strength and not hope. We can't hope that we'll come to some negotiating table after we restore the government from a shutdown. He's got to show strength here.
I had on Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee earlier this hour, and we were talking about the number that sticks in everybody's brain right now. It's a sweetener. It is $1.5 trillion in spending for 7-week CR. That's what Democrats want. It's like a bribe.
It's absolutely a bribe. And what I see coming out of these negotiations is it's really showing the Republicans are fighting for veterans. They're fighting for law enforcement and families, while Democrats are willing to use the pain of the American people to push through their radical far left policies. And the American people are smart. They want their $1 trillion radical wish list, which is for funding health care for illegals. Not only that, but also sort of undoing the historic tax breaks that President Trump got through. So I think there's a lot to be questioned. I don't think Schumer's operating from a place of strength. We know that Chuck Schumer is coordinating with the far left side of his base and being pressured to his face to shut down the government. That is a fact.
Yeah. Quick last thought, we'll move on.
He's working to save health care for middle-class Americans, these subsidies.
You two do not agree on that. Because we know how much it costs to have illegals in the system and to pay for their health care. Is there a way to negotiate some of this, though, outside of getting the government to open back up and just letting it stay open and through November? Like, can they get...
If they're realistic, if they want to be realistic and fight for the American people, I think...
There are moderate Republicans that want to extend the subsidies at least for another year. I mean, I think it costs more to take away access. 7 to 10 days just to patch up where they are right now. He may still lack that vision, you say, that the left needs. Let's bring this in. Some Republicans have a sneaking suspicion that there's another reason Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer flipped his script since March. Watch.
There is one reason, and one reason alone, that Chuck Schumer is leading the Democrats off this cliff. He is trying to get political cover from the far left corner of his base. He's afraid of a challenge for his Senate seat by AOC.
He's worried he's going to get a primary challenge from AOC.
He is afraid of AOC over a clean CR.
Chuck Schumer is afraid of his own shadow, and I actually think that shadow's name is AOC.
All right, let's hear from the shadow.
This is so not about me in this moment. If those senators think that we're having a shutdown because of me, they're free to enter my office and negotiate, because what we're not going to do is allow all of millions of people in this country to not be able to afford their insulin and their chemotherapy. So come strike a deal with me if that's what they really think is going on.
Look, I actually don't really like the word shadow for her. First of all, I think it's kind of a silly reference in that sense, but it's a word that's been used. I don't think she's Chuck Schumer's shadow. I think she's standing in front of him. What do you think?
I think Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has been operating in neutral when he was paired with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Now that we've got John Thune, we're seeing really strong leadership from the Republican side, and I don't think that Schumer has met the moment. And so it makes sense that people are turning to AOC a little bit here.
Can she beat him in New York if she decides
I think
to?
she absolutely probably could, and that's a good thing. Hey, look, I think the Democrats need to look at the most recent Quinnipiac poll that showed 3 out of 10 voters actually do not have a favorable view of the Democrat Party, and they're playing right into that polling.
Can I ask you a question, Yemisi, about where we are? You know, Mamdani wants to run for, and he's a Democrat socialist. I call him a communist because he wants to free everything, and that just won't work. But if he's in office as mayor of the city and AOC then tries to run for a district that Schumer has now, are we seeing a capitulation in some ways to the far left? I mean, that's what I would call him. He's so far left, he's a communist. But could we see New York start to change?
I think that New York is a great example for deep blue cities and areas coming from the South. I think Southern Democrats hold their own values and push up their own candidates.
Wow.
Democrats are in a free fall right now, and they are willing to take the pain of the American people to push through their far left radical ideals, and we're seeing it on full display. So they need to be realistic. President Trump has applauded Senator Fetterman in Pennsylvania for his vote.
That's right.
And we need more Democrats to jump on board if they want to have a shot to win in the future.
Right. You had those 2 Democrat votes, Fetterman and Cortez Matos, and also an independent in Angus King. So we'll see if we get more Dems.
Yep.
It'll be interesting. All right. Thank you very much.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.